go.
Welcome to the Penalty Kill, a podcast where 4 beer league players talk all things hockey, from beer leagues to the NHL and everything in between.
Well, guys, it's great to be back and getting back on the schedule, doing everything. If you are somehow watching this, Tofty is not with us this week. We have a special guest standing in for him, who will intro a little bit more in just a minute. But we're excited for him to be on and talk some hockey stuff, and we'll do a little interview with him like we have before with some of our other guests. And but before we get into that, we have a little pre-game topic that we're going to go through, and then Adam can recap last week's episode for us. So, yeah, Ethan, what was it that you wanted to discuss with the group?
Yeah, so I mean, I've pretty much established myself as like the equipment guy amongst us 4, and so I always have my eye on the new stuff. And so Bauer just came out with her agent stick. We all know this, yes.
Yeah.
New agent stick. Okay. So it's made from boron. And I mean, it's just kind of the next step in this giant arms race that's kind of started amongst, I don't know how long it's been going on for, but basically this chase to get as light of a hockey stick as humanly possible. And now this new agent stick has come out and it's all the way down to 337 grams, which, I mean, when you compare it to, when you compare it to like a Hyperlight, I think the Hyperlight is like I have a number right here, 385. So it's like 50 grams lighter than a Hyperlight. And I wanted to just pose this question, like, do you feel like you want as light of a hockey stick as possible, or do you feel like there's a point where you're like, this is too light? Just in your guys' opinion, what do you think?
Who's first?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Suey, just to kind of, first of all, before we jump to you, because I think you'd be a great person to give a little insight, because like I know you've tried a lot of sticks. You're like Ethan in this regard, where you've used a lot. And I know you were one of the first person, I think you were the first person I knew that used the slingshot.
The
sling stick,
whatever
ADB.
it is. Yeah, so I think I'd love to hear that. But also, just since it's been a while since I've seen you, the beard is looking fantastic. Because that's how I first met you, was even longer than that. So I like to see it's coming back. But
it's coming back a little bit.
Yeah.
Just staying warm in San Diego. Anyway, I could start off with the stick thing if you want. That
would be great.
All right, so I don't know. I think there's pros and cons to having a light stick. And the lighter it gets, it does feel really good in your hands. A lot less strain, obviously, but it doesn't matter if you're like Adam over here, just jacked. But I think a lot of people like a kind of a heavier stick, want a little more beef on it, just because you can be stronger on your stick, and if you're loading your shots right, you're gonna get that, you know what I mean, like that whip with more weight behind it, I guess. And it's stronger, overall. I think the lighter they get, I know there's great material out there. I personally love a light stick. I've tried, like you were saying, Adam, I've tried so many sticks, and I do really like lighter sticks, but I just don't even, I don't know how low you can go without it being a problem as far as strength.
What are you?
But
I was gonna say, what are you gaming right now? Just out of
That's
curiosity.
what I was gonna ask. Yeah.
So I'm pretty much all CCM. I'm actually using a jet speed.
Right on.
Okay, that's what I thought you were.
Jet
Yeah.
speed. All right.
So how much does that weigh?
This so this one, the FT4, I think was like low 400s. I think it was like 420 or so, 415, somewhere in there.
Okay. So with
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, with like the lighter sticks, I think you said you had used them and they feel great, but do you feel like you can't get much on your shot with them? Or
I don't know, kind of. It's kind of a weird it forces you to have to be stronger on your stick. You know how sometimes you already got your momentum and there's a puck over here and you got to kind of one-hand it and drag it with you. I feel like heavier sticks in situations they kind of just do some work for you. It's kind of what I'm saying.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, because I haven't used a super light stick, but I bought like one of the cheaper like STX sticks just to try it out, and it was a lot heavier than what I've been using. and I just tried it in a pickup game, but I knew if I were to play defense, I would want a heavier stick if I play defense regularly, just because you can be stronger and for some of those things with like either
That's
poking the
also
puck
true.
or like having a strong stick, like the heavier one feels better. But I didn't like it like for offense, so but I haven't tried
Yeah.
the super light one, so I don't know how to compare.
That's actually I feel like that's actually a good point too, depending on your position and your role on the ice. Because if you're gonna just go McDavid everyone and no one even touches you, then it doesn't matter what your stick weighs, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Yeah, the one I only had one stick that and part of it was like I was getting senior sticks and then I was cutting them down and then I started switching to going to intermediate because the flex I'd use was right in between, usually doing like somewhere between like a 65 and like a 77 flex, depending on what I was kind of working with and just trying to like experiment a little bit with some of that. But I remember the first one I got that was a little whippier of a stick, but also an intermediate and was like the lightest stick I used. I remember the first time I used it, I was like, the puck felt heavy, and that was weird for me. And I didn't really like it. It was just like I just noticed the weight of the puck a lot more because of how light the stick was. So I don't know. That was a personal preference where like I still like a light stick because I've used heavier sticks before, and it's like I don't like them, but I don't know. I still think around just like that, probably around the 400 grams, where it's still light stick, but it's not super light is
that's
my preference.
It was
that's kind of around what a pro blackout is. I think it's like around 420 or so, where it's it's not getting you near like hyper lights, but it's still pretty light.
Yeah, I'll double check. I think the one I have is like 405, 415 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know how you guys know all these weights of your sticks. I'm like, damn, this feels good. All right, let's go.
Honestly, to me, I didn't really ever think about until Ethan started bringing it up. Where it's like I was
never weighed my
lighter,
stick,
but I never paid attention to it. But they're all listed though.
So I'm an elementary school teacher, and so during summer break, I had nothing to do, and I got really into the specs of hockey gear, and so now I'm just obsessed.
Gear guy.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I mean, I'm gonna start weighing all my gear now. Thanks.
There you go. Yeah, no, if you go, so like
Yeah.
I always go to Ice Warehouse, icewarehouse.com, and they, for pretty much most gear, like it's just whatever they have in stock, but pretty much most gear, they're going to tell you like what the weight of it is. And I mean, it's not always like the lighter, the better, obviously, but it's just kind of interesting to look at.
Yeah, I guess so.
Just even like with like pants, like the difference in like weights of pants is kind of interesting to me, but yeah,
that is true, but I'd rather my protective gear be a little heavier.
Oh, absolutely. That was when I first started out. I was like, oh, I want it to be as light as possible, and now it's like, no, I want the most possible protection.
Yeah, I got to go to work tomorrow, man.
Yeah, that's one thing we talk about a lot in here. It's like we want to play hard and aggressive, but it's like at the end of the day, it's beer league, and we all go.
For your helmet, do you wear a full? Like, do you wear a cage or a bubble, or do you have like a half visor?
Me, I'm a cage guy.
Okay.
Look at this. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Adam over here is still running just the half visor.
He knows.
We give him crap all the time.
It's. I think it does look very cool.
Oh yeah.
So you got that going for you, Baldy. But I also don't have health insurance right now, so I'm not gonna take a stick or a puck to the teeth, the jaw.
That's fair.
So.
The NHL players who have been grandfathered into like the no visor look, like they're psychos.
There's not many left. There's like Ryan O'Reilly and I'm trying to think who else is
Zach Cassian. There's a few.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a couple in each division.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're a dying breed. Doesn't Ryan Reeves not wear a visor?
Right.
Yeah. So So I don't know. I'm not that bold.
Yeah, no, I'm good with that.
Yeah. But
all right.
Well, yeah. So I think as far as like,
well,
I'm curious to see here. So which one of us is gonna get the stick first? I think my bet's on Stewie.
So I talked about it before the podcast started. Like, I feel like I love equipment, but sticks are probably the least interesting to me. Like, I really like helmets and like I'm really getting into helmets and just shoulder pads and elbow pad, like just all the protective equipment. Sticks, I found Jet Speed FT4 and I love it. If this ever breaks, I'll probably just buy another one. So
yeah. How much is that new one?
This one?
No, the
No,
Oh,
the
agent.
agent.
The
It's
agent?
like 450
Dude,
or
the
something.
agent's so expensive.
Yeah.
So if let me just Google it right now. And I
Yeah,
know it sounds worse if I make it Canadian or Australian, because I think it's Australian 500, but for American 360.
Okay, that's about what the ADV was
Yeah.
when that came out.
Yeah.
Same price.
It's hefty, but I guess it's market price. I'm not
Hey, I got
looking
a
to
good
spend
price on
that,
mine.
but
Nah.
hey, you never know.
I might get that
Maybe Molly will get it for you for
Yeah,
for
but
Christmas.
I already told you, dude. I'm a CCM guy.
That's true. Maybe you get it for her for Christmas.
Yeah, exactly.
So it is their most expensive stick right now. So their sling stick is 330, the agent's 360, and then I think the Hyperlight's 330.
I'm not good enough to justify buying that.
Well,
Hey,
that's
just
the
go-
thing, especially since I've been playing a lot more and so I've been breaking more sticks. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'll stick with the $150
Well, what's
ones.
isn't the True Hazardous super expensive too? I'm gonna look up that one really quick. That one's
Yeah,
three. Oh, never mind. Go for it.
I was just gonna say that brand new True one.
Yeah.
One of them I just saw coming out was well over 400.
That
Is
one's
that-
360 as well. The True Hazardous.
Okay. I swear I saw
Jeez.
thought I saw a different one that was coming out that was 449 or something like that. I can't remember
Yeah,
what
it's
stick it
probably
was.
yeah. Supreme put out a stick. It's $1,500. Nah, it's just
Yeah.
they just put a red Supreme sticker on a stick.
Yeah,
Sell it
seriously.
for whatever you want.
That'd be pretty good.
Anyway,
Oh,
So
all right. Should
well,
we jump into our into regulation?
yeah, let's head into that direction. So real
I
quick
guess we got to
before
do a
that,
recap.
I'll do a quick recap. So recap of last week. I had a lot of fun with that episode because really we just talked about the start of the NHL season, kind of a recap of the start of all of our beer league seasons and how that was going. We got to hear about Ethan's first ever beer league goal, so that was a ton of fun. And then hearing about him also playing defense for the first time and blocking a lot of shots. Then we talked a lot about NHL recap stuff, and Jesse and I were feeling pretty good last week when we recorded about the Kings. Not as much right now, but they're playing the Lightning, and is it still 1-1? Because I had to switch rooms.
Yeah.
So okay, so we're still holding our own with the Lightning right now. So we'll see how it goes. It's a long season. We start off.
the Lightning, are they good?
Cooked.
We still say cook for them was playoffs contention. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Okay.
We'll get into you a little bit more too,
Yeah.
like your favorite teams, but also I know
Yeah.
you guys don't have anything to write home about at the moment either. So just careful with smack talk.
Hey, didn't you say we'll get into it?
We'll get into it. Yeah. So
We'll just wait for that. before
yeah.
you start.
Okay. But yeah, that was pretty much all of what last week was about. We talked a little bit about some of the reverse retro stuff because they hadn't been released yet when we recorded last time. Now they have, so we'll get a chance to talk about that a little bit today too. But today, we got a special guest with us. We're gonna do an interview with my boy Kevin Stewart. We're very excited that you are filling in for Tofty, who is on a cruise right now. But Stewie, as what to call him, is a former teammate of mine, still current teammate of Tofty's. He's got a really cool beer league story. Got an awesome beard. Just he's the whole package. And so we are excited. Also a regular listener, so we appreciate that, and just excited to have you on. So, Stewie, we'll jump in here with some questions. We've referenced you a lot, so if you guys have listened to our previous episode, we've talked about Stewie quite a bit, and talking about how it's never too late to start, how you can improve no matter what stage or what time you get into hockey, and everything. So you have one of the best beer league stories I think out there, which is why I was really excited to get you on. But if you want to just kind of say hello again to everyone, and then maybe tell us when you actually got started into playing hockey, what kind of drove you into for starting to play.
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you for having me. Pretty nice little office we got here. My story, man. So if I go all the way back to early 90s when Mighty Ducks came out.
We love the Mighty Ducks on this podcast.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
The movies and show. We're not talking about the team.
Don't worry about. So when cartoon and the movies were coming out, I was like, you know, I'm a little kid and I just love all new cool things. And I was like, dude, hockey? What is this? This shit is awesome. Can I curse on here?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay, because it's gonna come out a lot. I've been trying to be a good boy so far, but
No, you're fine.
anyway.
No,
Uh
no. Let it fly.
no, so I remember, you know, for Christmas, my mom got me one of those little like 3/4 like raglan, almost like jersey looking Mighty Ducks thing, and I wore that thing till it
Yes.
fell off my fucking body, man. And then when I was about 10 years old, 10 or 11, this kid moved across the street from us, and I forget, he moved from somewhere from the Midwest or something, and he would always be out in I was a little skateboarder kid, or like jumping my BMX bike, but he showed up and he had this little janky goal and just started playing like ball hockey, like street hockey with his rollerblades on out there. And I was like, what? It's just like the movie. So I was like, you know, Mom, can I go out? Yeah, go get out of my hair. And so I'd go out there, play. Like, he had this old raggedy stick he like gave to me, this old Franklin, just like giving me splinters. So we were like playing around. I had no clue what I was doing, you know, just slapping the ball around. I was like, this is awesome. So I asked my mom, I was like, yo, you know, can we get into roller hockey? Because he was playing on a club team and he's a little older than me. And then, so I was like, you know, let me play hockey. And roller hockey really in the 90s was the only thing we had down here in San Diego, at least readily available. And so I asked her, and she's like, yeah, we'll look into it for sure. You know, and you know, a couple weeks go by, she looks into it. I was like, so what's up? She's like, yeah, you can play soccer. She looks at the price on that, looking at the equipment and the rink time or whatever. It's outrageous, especially then for Southern California. So I was like, all right, whatever. So fast forward to about 4 years ago. Always liked hockey. I've always, you know, I've been watching it. Ducks fan, down for life. And he's like, that's rough.
Yeah. That's some good dedication though.
Yeah.
At least it's that logo.
Yeah, exactly. And so fast forward, you know, I got back into hockey after being too cool and playing in hardcore bands and skateboarding and stuff. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna like sports again. And so got back into hockey, and then I was like, I really want to play. And then you know my buddy Creamer, big boy.
Oh yeah.
So he came in to Balboa, the bar I work at. He came in and he was wearing like a Sharks hat or something, and I was wearing like some Ducks shit, and he was like, do you play? And I was like, I have, because one time my buddy Chris pulled me out and I didn't even know how to stop. I was Bambi-legged. I didn't know what was going on. I was hugging the wall. So I played like one time of ice hockey, so it didn't count. I was like, I mean, I have played. And he's all, I got some extra equipment. If you can gather up some gloves and like get some skates going, let's get you out there on a pickup. And this was the Croc pickups at the time. The Wednesday and Friday ones. So I was like, all right, dude. So I got all that ragtag, just big ass pants, ripped up, and just whatever I could find. Everything was just scratching the insides of my hand. And I was like, all right, got brand new gloves. I was like, that's all I need is new gloves and new skates. And then got out there. I didn't know what I was doing. I knew hockey, like I knew what I should do, but God damn it, it was harder to do. Way easier said than done. So yeah, and that was about around the time I met you.
Yeah, I think we were actually like playing together in that pickup before we kind of knew who each other were.
Exactly,
because you were very recognizable out there, just because of like, not just because you were new, but also because because the beard was probably another like 5 or 6 inches longer than what it is right now.
Oh yeah, it would be cut off.
Yeah, and your hair was like down to your waist. I mean, and so it was all flowing. So like you were just a recognizable person, even just walking in the building and everything. We talk all the time about how you can't recognize someone like on the ice and off the ice because of like
exactly.
Stuff. But you were someone that I could, so I knew who you were, but we didn't really meet.
Yeah,
for at least several months after that.
And that's the thing, is I remember always seeing you. I was like, who's this little short guy just charging it? Jesus Christ! And then the next, I was like, and how do you stop? And anyway, so I started playing. I was like, fuck it. The only way to get better, I'm a real hands-on guy. So I was like, dude, I need to like get my ass beat and have people just dummying me to like learn anything. So and everyone else was better than me. I was like, all right. So pandemic hits. I still wasn't great. I could kind of stop on one side, pandemic hits. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to take this time while government's paying me back my money, and I'm going to learn how to like shoot the puck, hold a stick, like do things, you know what I mean? So I got some inline skates, which is, I heard you guys have talked about that before, the whole inline thing.
Mhm.
A lot of people,
Yep.
it's kind of a weird, the transition for some people is different, but for me it really helped because it's all a lot of the same muscle memory,
Mhm.
And so I started rolling around with Molly and shooting on the new net and the shooting tiles I got, and then I was like, all right, everything started to open back up, and then I went to Croc again and I saw Adam and he was jacked. I was like, I don't know if we've talked about the stages, but
Just a
damn,
lot
I
of
was like,
Adam, a lot of Adam praise.
wait, hey,
We're boys, man.
I'll
Yeah,
praise
no,
I'll praise you guys on the next one once once I get to know you.
Yeah, okay.
No, I have nothing wrong with it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's great. So, yeah, and then we were doing a few pickups. George had that Sunday night one, which is when we really, or the
The-
Sunday one
Yeah, he had the Sunday afternoon, which was the main one, and he was also doing like
after.
the Wednesday or Thursday night one. Because we
Yeah,
were doing
yeah,
twice a week for a little bit when everything else was shut down.
yeah. So we were. That's when I really got back with Adam here, and I was like, dude, what's your name again? I remember you. And then we
Mhm.
finally swapped names, fell in love, and then also Tofty, because I would see him and
Yeah.
he had his little neck gaiter over his face playing with his
Oh, yeah, that's
yeah, and
right.
I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah. I forgot he was playing with
he's this
that. Yeah.
quiet guy just zipping around all. And then I got good friends with George,
Mhm.
and then he offered to like take me on the team, like, hey, you want to try it out? I was like, I've never played on a team. I've never even played organized hockey with like a ref or anything. So just started playing, started watching, and I'm all ears when people, try to give me advice because you're never done learning, man. So
Mhm.
I'm all ears. So I would always listen to Baldy and Tofty and the people, who had a lot more experience than me. And that was about 4 years ago now.
So
Not the Motley Goons thing. That was
yeah, but yeah, I would say yeah, that sounds about right. Around like 2018, maybe 2019, but yeah, about I think 2017 is when it's like sometime 2017 I think is when I started in 2017, early 2018 when I started getting back into it and started going to those pickups. So be somewhere around
yeah,
there.
yeah, I think it's been about, yeah, maybe 2019 or 2019, I think is when I started kind of trying the pickups. But yeah, and then now I'm on the Goons, and dude, I love it. It's the shit. Yeah, look at that. We can agree on
Yeah.
that team.
Oh yeah, these are like some of the best beer league uniforms you'll ever see.
So
And
I've
and Kevin and I both have purple gloves to match. So
That's right.
nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that one time I sent you the was it cheetah skin gloves? Sent you a picture of
he
those.
did. And if I was still playing, I would have probably bought them. I sent him to George to buy. He was thinking about it. So but,
Jesse,
Um,
you were gonna say something?
yeah. So just going back when you went to that first pickup with that random equipment and
Yeah.
you just did it. Like, did you like love it, or were you like, I want to love this, but I'm frustrated? Like, kind of what was like your thinking just going into that first pickup or like, after you played?
There was like kind of a little of both. It's always frustrating to want something, or want to be proficient at something, and you're just not immediately, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I just saw these guys ripping around and skating backwards, and then just like shooting was like blew my mind. I was like, there's no way you can shoot like during warm-ups, I was like, I don't even know what to do. I don't even know how to shoot the puck, and I don't want to skate up to this goalie because he's gonna be like, get the fuck out of here. And so I was kind of frustrated, but I did love it because I always like a challenge. Like I'm all for that. And if anything, me being that horrible, which everyone is horrible when they start playing hockey, me being that horrible was that much more of a reason for me to keep going because I wanted to show people that I could get better, pretty much, especially myself. I really wanted to do it for me, but I also wanted to look cool. Hockey's cool, man.
Hockey's really cool.
It definitely resonated with me when you were talking about feeling that frustration because like you wanted to do something but you couldn't. And it's just like that was my experience. It's like I want to stop and I see them stopping, but I can't do it. It's just not computing in my brain. And it drives you crazy. I remember I had one practice where I was just visibly frustrated and like the guy just pulled me to the side and was like, "Hey man, like everyone goes through this. Like it's tough. It's a tough thing to learn, but once it clicks, it clicks. But like it's frustrating in the meantime. And you just got to keep pushing." But
yeah, it's like that dude on Mighty Duck. Was it Mendez?
Luis Mendoza.
Mendoza. Yeah. I was like, it was kind of like that though, because there was a couple times where I'm just going and I'm like, all right, and then I just do a wide circle because I couldn't even like turn sharp or like but yeah, I just do a wide circle, and then sometimes there's just someone right in front of you, so it's like I don't know what to do with my. But I swear it almost happened like that where I just went and like my edge kind of caught, and I was like, all right, that happened, but I have no clue how I did it. Let's just try to do that again. Someone, come on, get in front of me.
The same thing happened to me. It was like middle of a game, and I was like, they were gonna do a face off, and I was skating up to the face off, and it was just I was trying to hurry because the guy that I was on the same line with decided to come off at the last second. So I was like, okay, they're waiting for me. I'm just gonna skate up there really fast, and then I just did a hockey stop, and I was like, I've been trying to do that for months, and right now I just did it without even thinking about it. What was that?
Hey, like I said, it's all, at least for me, I know everyone's a little different, but it's all just kind of in the moment things. You know what I mean? There's been times where like like I said with the stopping, and there's also times with I don't have the best hands. They're getting better though, Baldy. I feel like
I believe you.
Played in a while.
Yeah,
but
I checked the stats of the season. Like were you leading the team in goals or points last I checked? Maybe.
So I feel like, so I don't look at the stats all the time, but
I'll do it for you.
I feel like I get multiple assists a game at least. I'm feeding, man.
Yeah.
I'm slacking a little on the goals lately. I'm a little slump, but we'll get out there.
Who are you playing online with right now, just out of curiosity?
I'm usually playing with do you know Jess?
Yeah.
I usually play with her a lot of times with Sean, and I've been playing center a lot lately, which I like that. I dig center.
Yeah, I remember when you first started playing, and because we would talk a lot about that, because sometimes it was just me and you being the centers and kind of me kind of got thrown in there. But I remember, and this is one thing to speak to our listeners too, of just having that coachability, because that was one reason I remember Jorge talking to me about like, hey, what do you think about putting Kev at center? And I was like, you know what, Kev's gonna do whatever he can to learn and like ask questions and be coachable and like learn the position, rather than just being like, no, I don't want to fucking do this, or just do whatever you want. And so I'm happy to hear that you're still playing that and you're enjoying it, because center I think is the best position.
Yeah, he's been putting me more in center, which I like. I dig center. I think I like it the best, just because it's I like the fact that you just kind of got to be where you need to be. I know they're like wingers, you got your things and then your D back here, but like you got to fill in those gaps, you know what I mean? You got to flex seal it. But
yeah,
I think it's cool but it's a good time, dude.
And yeah, I mean, it's we'll jump into a couple more questions, but kind of just like a little bit more follow up. Was there something, so you already kind of touched on this, kind of talking about the stopping and some of the things you worked on, but I could remember when we first, as you mentioned, we first started doing those pickups together. We still don't really know each other, but like I said, I remember like seeing you and recognizing you. And I think I've mentioned this before in the podcast when talking about like getting out there to do the pickups to improve your game and everything like that. And I think I referenced you as the ZZ Top motherfucker.
You're not the only one.
Yeah, but in just being like, I mean, it was pretty, because I think you even mentioned, or someone told me like, like you're just learning how to play. And I remember like thinking like, okay, that's cool. You came out to try it out, but it's like you kept coming back and you kept coming back. I remember just being so impressed that you just kept coming back and showing up because it was a really good pickup as far as like it was a good group of guys, like it was a good balance of talent. But I mean, there were some good skaters in there, and it could have been very intimidating. I think maybe it helped having Creamer as a friend that would sometimes come out there because he was one of the better skaters out there.
Yeah.
That fool shot, man. But I do remember at one point when I wasn't coming to the pickups quite as much, and then there was then with COVID and everything like that, and then when we started playing together again, it was very noticeable the improvement that you made. And so, I mean, would you say a lot of it was just, getting some of the tiles, practicing the shooting and getting out there with the inline skates? Was that the biggest thing, or is there anything else that you really did that helped improve your game where you kind of went from that, I'm still new, I don't know what I'm doing, to like, this is, I'm a hockey player now type of thing?
Yeah. Well, so it's funny you put it that way, is that was my goal, to be able to confidently tell someone, yeah, I play hockey. You know what I mean? Like I'm a hockey player. And I wanted to be able to say that and back it up if someone's like, oh, come to my skate or something. So I was like, so I would say the main thing that helped me out was getting those inlines, because skating is so important in hockey. You can work your ass off on your shot and your hands, and use your super deker, use your tiles, and do like cone drills and little figure eights, just snipe corners, but if you can't do that when you're skating, I remember learning the trying to do both. I'm like, oh, I know how to like skate. I've rollerbladed before. I've ice skated with the family or on like trip or like school trips or whatever. But then the second you put a stick and a puck in front of me, I was like, I don't know how to skate anymore. So there's like a thing of putting them together. There's like it was definitely the both of those, but the tricky part was making them a whole. That's why hockey is such a beauty of a sport, because everybody knows how to walk and run and turn around and pivot and go sideways and jump and hop and slide. Everybody knows how to do that. You know what I mean? But you have to be proficient in skating first. So once I got those inlines, I was like, all right, let's go. So Molly and I would be just in our little cul-de-sac, which is cool. We live in the cul-de-sac, and I had this little janky net I'd bring down there and just kind of skate around, get scraped up a little bit. But it really, like the transitions and the crossovers, I would do it just slow. I'd literally be standing there going 0 miles an hour, just working on my muscle memory of trying to like step over my other foot or like do a little C cut. And I'm like, okay, and then get on the ice for a stick time and try it out on the ice. But it was all about the inlines, man.
Yeah, that's all. I mean, I think that's great for everyone to hear. And even I remember when we started doing those, some of like those quote unquote practice times, me, you, Tofty, and Creamer would come out for a lot of those ones too. We were Forest Ranch. Yeah, I know you like to go to the Chula Vista one, but you were very generous in coming up to the Forest Ranch one because that one was so close where I lived. And it was a nicer rink though too. So there was that.
Yeah.
But even just like getting those practice times, I remember for myself, even someone that I grew up playing and has played a lot, like even doing that, even though it was out there, for fun and, working on some stuff, but I felt like I got better from that. And so it's not just like this is what you need to do if you're starting out, like getting those inline skates and getting out there just practicing, and especially if you can do it with like a friend or a teammate or something like that. I think because I remember we started getting some good chemistry because we were working on those like cycling plays and passing. And
Exactly.
That, and it was a blast. Plus in San Diego when you could just bust the top off,
tarps off.
Tarps off Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Get out there and just get the can and work on it. So it's gonna be a little harder this time of year, but yeah, when spring, summer rolls back around,
man,
inline blades and get out there and practice.
I'd say the inlines and doing that, finding big spots. We were doing it at Balboa Park or in the zoo parking lot because the zoo was closed for COVID. So we just go out there. We had the little sauce kit, and I just have the little green biscuits and just push them around, and it 100% helped. And then once I also roller and the friction with those pucks helps your hands a lot. It's almost like jogging with weights, you know what I mean? Or like, because once you're on the ice and it slides better, you're like, oh shit, this is like we were talking about with sticks. It's all hyper light. So I'm like, damn, I'm way faster on the ice because you've been lugging that roller puck around. But it was just me really wanting to, like you said, I just kept coming back because when I first started, if I wasn't a locker room guy, I wouldn't be anything, you know. So it's all.
I mean, kind of with that though, like you keep coming back. Like obviously, you seem like you were driven and you really wanted it. But we've talked a lot about how encouraging and welcoming the hockey community is, because it can be an intimidating sport to want to get into. And you've kind of referenced it a little bit with, like meeting Adam and Tofty and George and some of the guys, but like what's your opinion or experience with like how welcoming and encouraging the hockey community is to someone trying to start?
So that's actually a good question, because like I'll talk to anyone. It was a little easier for me. Like if I'm sitting at pickup, I'll look over to the guy next to me, and if I don't know him, I'll be like, dude, what's your name? But even for me, like going up, like I'm like, oh shit, I have to walk into one of these locker rooms. It's gonna be like one of those old Western saloons where everyone turns their head and the piano guy stops playing. And I'm like, I have my little bag. I'm like, I'll just go over here, sort of thing. And it kind of was like that. I was like, well, shit. Luckily, I had Creamer, and I could, kind of riff back and forth with him, and then meet the guys he knew. But then when he wasn't around, or I went to another skate or another rink to like try it out, just because I wanted my ice time and I wanted to keep playing. It was a little intimidating, but for the most part, everyone was super cool, unless they were also intimidated. But I'm always, I mean, ask Adam, man. I like, I'm all down for making friends and talking to people and going straight into just jokes and fun with them. So I think it's nice when the room is welcoming and people are already kind of like loosened up and chatting with each other, and then maybe just throw your 2 cents in and then gauge it out, and they're like, all right, cool, I'm in on this conversation. And then it just starts there, and there's just way too many people to meet. It's so crazy. I started calling everyone by like the jerseys they wore for the first couple months, because I just couldn't remember everyone's name. I was like, that guy's so fucking cool. He's so nice. But it's either Frank or like Billy, and those don't even sound alike. I just don't know anyone's name. And now I've met so many great people, because it is a really welcoming community if you're open to it. You know what I mean? I feel like it's kind of a give and take. You don't just like walk in and expect to be, accepted by everyone. But
Yeah,
for the most part, good group of guys and gals, and just everyone's super nice and welcoming, because it is, I think most people, especially if they have been playing for a while and have been in these locker rooms and in this, in this world for a while, everyone can remember back to when they were you, or they were new, and no one likes that feeling. So if you're a decent person, I feel like it's pretty easy to welcome someone in.
for sure. I think the give and take thing is huge, because we've talked about it a lot, like super welcoming community, but like, yeah, people will, if you're not the best, or even if you're the worst out there, if you're trying and making an effort and trying to get better, that's really all people care about. Being like a positive contribution, like at least with your effort. So,
yeah.
So
not breaking rule number 1, which is don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
Yeah. Well,
or even if you're not gonna be a dick, don't be a. You'll appreciate this, but yeah, don't be a Gary. Especially,
Well, and that was kind of what I was saying. Is like what I said earlier. If it weren't for my locker room banter, I would have been nothing. I was literally just a pile on for a while, but I guess I was nice enough in the room.
Yeah.
But now I can stop, so it's cool.
Yeah, be a dick, but just not but not a full dick. Don't
Dude,
break
I'm
one.
almost good enough to be an asshole.
Yeah.
No.
There's some guys
Anyway,
I know there's some guys that you're playing against right now that probably deserve it if you did it to them a little bit, but
absolutely.
yeah. So
Nameless.
especially if you're playing the cows. Just leave it
Yeah.
at
Yeah. Well,
that.
yeah. Don't.
So
Hey.
all right. Well, so kind of can maybe do this like twofold. If you have two different answers, if it's just one, that's totally fine. But do you have a favorite hockey memory? So that could be with, I know you and Molly go to a lot of games, so it could be a really cool experience if you went and watched to get you more into it. It could be, beer league experience. So if you want to answer for both or one.
Yeah, I think I got a couple.
Okay.
I'll do an on ice one and an off ice one. How about that?
Okay, that's pretty good. That's for that. When we first did this, that's how we all answered. So very acceptable.
And don't be mad at me if my on ice and off ice turn into a battle of two of them, and then we'll just call it a wash.
Okay.
Anyway, I'd say my first, or not my first, my one of my favorites like off ice experiences in the hockey community or hockey world was so Molly and I usually do our anniversary. We get out of town for like a week and go. So this particular year we went to Joshua Tree and got like an Airbnb and chilled and did all that. And then on our way back, we went to a Ducks game. And I was wearing my goals jersey. And this guy, like the media guy, came up. He's all, hey, do you want to be on the thing during intermission and answer a couple questions? He's like, I'll literally tell you the answers and we'll upgrade your seats. And we're like, okay. He's like, you're not going to get them wrong unless you don't know how to repeat what I say to you. I was like, all right. So
no pressure though. Yeah.
Yeah, no pressure. And he's the guy's like, what about you? And Molly's not the type to be, on stage. But
Yeah.
I was like, hell yeah, for sure. And so he's like, all right. And so he comes down and he asked me about I won upgraded seats that were like 6 rows from the glass, almost like center ice, kind of like blue line, which was cool. And like tickets to a rodeo or something. So whatever. He like asked me, he's like, what do you think the average time of the rodeo something? He asked like some rodeo questions, like I would know that, like, or it was the pro bull riding or something, the PBR, I think is what it's called.
Okay.
Yeah. And no one knew that. I was like, I sold it. I was like, I don't know, 20. And he's like, that's right, yeah, for sure. So he gave me the tickets, but it was just cool to be in like the new arena right when not the new arena, but the NHL, like at the pond, like right as I was getting back into hockey. I was like, oh hell yeah, welcome back. Like it was probably my third game since getting back into hockey that Molly and I went to, and I was like, it was just cool to be on the jumbotron, and like everyone in the arena was like, hey, nice beard and this and that. And, I was like, this is awesome. These people are so cool. So that was a good off ice one. Also, honorable mention the beard flip with the hat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was also a good one.
Yeah, we're gonna have to post a picture on our Instagram of like.
Yeah, I got the GIF of it, or just a picture. I think I have the. I'll send it over.
Send it to us. We'll post it.
Yeah, that was actually that
fancy to see.
That was actually the preseason game for Goals and Rain at the Honda Center.
Okay.
You know how they do that every year?
Yeah. Okay.
Like the free game. Yeah. Anyway, on ice though, man, Ethan, you're talking about your first beer league goal.
Big moment.
That's a big moment, dude. Yeah. So, Baldy, you were
I was there. It's one of my moments.
I don't know if you remember it. Yeah. Well, so as you know, like the play, I guess I'll go through it, but so like the play was kind of by the net and by the crease, and I went around and someone just left the slot open. And as I was curling there, I don't remember who it was because I didn't know what was happening, because it was just like, I was like, what? I have to do something. And the puck goes straight onto my tape, and I just let it go, goes over the dude's shoulder. And I was like, I just scored my first beer league goal, dude.
It was a beautiful play. I think it might have been McKenna.
Yeah, I think so. I think it might have too, but it was a perfect feed from Gretzky's office, dude. It
Yeah.
just like no one was in the center, and I knew I had to get there, so I just curled around,
Yeah.
and right as the ice opened up, it just the pass went straight to my fucking tape.
So good.
It felt so good because it was a perfect reception, perfect release, nothing but net. Wish I could have got some posts.
I was
in
watching
there,
from the bench when it happened. It was a beautiful goal. I think I was sitting next to Tofty when it happened because we were on the same line at that time, and we were just losing our shit because it was just like Kev finally scored, because it was same as like we've talked with you, Ethan, about how it's like you get close for so long until it finally happens. You had hit so many posts, Kev,
killing me, man. Yeah, I know.
There were so many chances. I remember I had a couple where I think where I set you up for like a one-timer, and it was one of those goal made a save or kind of rolled off the stick.
Little tic-tac-toes.
Yeah. But it's like once it happens, and it's like
that's
the monkey's off your back, and you can just play a little more free. And so I was pumped up when that happened.
That was a great feeling though, because especially since it was official. Like I was up there on the scoreboard now instead of just at pickup. You can grab a goal, do this and that, but like I was up on the scoreboard. I was like, dude, I did that. But I'd say that
you almost had a hat trick pretty soon after that too. But I
don't want to talk about
it. Yeah, I'll talk about it.
Right,
you scored 2 goals and you had a great game, and then they pulled the goalie, and Kev had the puck and got it out of the zone. There's only a couple seconds left. We're all screaming at him to shoot it, and
I didn't hear shit.
No, he didn't realize that. But so he didn't shoot it till like right when the buzzer sounded. So it went in like a second after the game.
It was all
devastating.
We're just like, Kev, that was your hat trick. So
I know. It was funny. I didn't even realize it was the hat trick until like the buzzer went off. I was like, oh fuck, that's right. And then it's funny because goal line's here. It's all bang.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I didn't hear you guys yelling. Either way.
Game that game. That's why we're just like, we wanted you to get it, because it was one of those where it's like, oh, you get a hat trick with empty nets. It's kind of like, they're like an asterisk fight or something like that. But you had so many chances, and you played a great game that day. We were all, he deserves it. Go get it. And
it's because I didn't want my third one to be an empty net, dude.
That's fair.
It's fair.
Yeah,
it's fair.
But that was one of the last games I played, I think, with you. So I wanted to leave with that memory. But
yeah, maybe so, huh?
I don't think it was the very last one. I think it was, I don't know, like 2 or 3 weeks before I moved. But
either way, go ahead, Jess.
Oh, I was just gonna say, kind of to move on to our next question, but kind of piggybacking off some of those last things, was like, we ask everyone this, like, why do you love hockey?
Simple answer would be just how rewarding it is when something actually happens.
Yeah.
It's like we were saying, and it is such a difficult sport, and it's and it takes time to progress and get better. So when something goes your way in hockey, it's just a rewarding feeling of that. It's like anything, when you just like, when you're walking through your house and you just go like this and throw your hat and it just lands on the little fucking hat ring. I don't know, dumb shit like that. Just like, or you just like you're like sitting in class and you just chuck your paper across and it just lands right in the can. It's
how we all do it with our talk tape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that feeling that I think it's the reward of the hard work that you put in, and it's also being able to share that moment with the homies, because that is the shit. When the boys, that's the best. When you go back and then you get the little cuddle puddle, dude. That's a great feeling too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
100%. Well, then and then also the parking lot beers. We all have the
Little PLBs,
yeah,
dude.
the PLBs.
Yeah.
I miss those days because we don't really do that as much up here. Like we still have a good locker room, dynamic, and we'll sometimes do it, but not like we did in San Diego. We were, staying out there 2 or 3 in the morning, just like.
I know. And we're still keeping it strong for you, though.
That's good. I appreciate that. You have to, FaceTime me on one of those one night.
I know, dude. I'll even bring a little chair for you. Everyone, it's funny, dude. It's gotten to the point where everyone has a camping chair
it's
in
not
their
just
car
game,
now.
huh?
So we just, yeah, exactly. We
Yeah.
just sit all out there. We have the cooler as our campfire.
It's great.
But yeah, I'd just say like just like the reward you get from all your hard work. That's my favorite part about hockey.
Yeah, I think we've talked about it, and I think I even said before, like you play other sports and you do something. It's cool, but like accomplishing something in hockey, it's another level of like.
Absolutely.
That was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when it feels right as it's happening, because everyone gets that greasy goal. Everyone gets past a defender miraculously. Everyone, you know what I mean? Like you accidentally dangle someone when they fuck up and it just goes through their legs. You're like, but when you actually toe drag around someone or go between their legs on purpose, or do some cool shit and it actually snaps off and you load your shot right and you can just feel your twig bending in half. Those are the moments I live for. When you hear that ring of the post, it's either the best sound in the world or the worst sound in the world.
Oh, 100%.
I feel like you just like wrote the intro for like 50 Shades of Ice or something.
Yeah, let's go. 50 sheets of ice.
Yeah, there you go. So, well, before we transition to overtime, we've talked about it a little bit, but I'm just kind of curious because, we won't dive too much into it, but you've got a fairly famous beer league wife in with Molly, and like her Instagram account and everything like that. So we won't dive too much into that, but I'm kind of curious of like, who would you say loves hockey more, and did one of you did you get her into hockey, or was she already into hockey? Because you guys have a very mutual like love for that, and it's really cool to see and like be a part of it. Being like, it's not like, hey babe, can I go to the game? It's more like, hey, should I spend like an extra $200 to get like the upgraded seats? Like, exactly. You should. Like, let's go, type of thing. So,
well, to answer your question, who's more into it? Since it's me answering, I have to say I am.
Okay, yeah.
But I mean, I'm crazy, man. I'll put on a game if my team didn't even exist. You know what I mean? Like if there's a game on, I'll watch it. I'll watch women's hockey. I'll watch college hockey. I'll watch international hockey. If something's on, I'm always putting it on just because but I mean, Molly just makes hockey look better than I do. as far as wearing it. I mean, she makes everything look better than I do. But so Molly kind of has the same story as me, where the Mighty Ducks were cool back in the day and we liked that. And then once we're finally like, dude, everyone's this was kind of a coincidence because I don't really care about football, but once the Chargers left was like when I was like, what? I want to watch a sport, a San Diego sport. So I was like, let's get back into the goals. Because I failed to mention this, but my first hockey game I ever went to was a goals game. Probably around like 11 or 12 or something. And my first game, this puck flies over the glass, and like there was this drunk dude behind me, and it he tried to catch it and just fell right in my lap, the puck. I was like, I got a puck. And then the dude tried to get over and grab it, and and like everyone else is like, dude, give the kid the fucking puck, you asshole.
Yeah.
So yeah. That puck's floating around somewhere, but so that was pretty cool. Anyway, so we kind of did the same thing. We got into it at the same time. Our buddy Steven got us back into hockey, where we went on a little Disney date where we went to Disneyland and then went to we did like a little stay at the hotel. We went to Disneyland and then we went to the Ducks game one of those nights. And it was my first NHL game and I was like, dude, hell yeah, let's do this. Ducks and goals. And so we went to the Ducks game and I was like, yep, they were playing the Stars that night. Got a win. And I was like, yeah, this is the shit. I'm gonna start dedicating my life to this.
Yeah.
But so yeah, we got in about the same time and then her and I are so bad at getting rid of shit we don't need. So we just have a fuckload of jerseys and like different hats and just memorabilia. My garage looks like a fucking shenanigans.
But I love it. I think it's very impressive.
Yeah,
so.
I got a couple of your broken twigs hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah, I got some more up here now. It's like keep breaking them, but yeah,
So
I appreciate that you
strong,
hung
dude.
on to them for me.
So strong.
Oh,
Yeah, but yeah, so we just started collecting the shit out of all things hockey, and now if we ever have to move, that will suck.
I love the no-show shirt you're rocking.
Oh yeah, you like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a
Whale
big Shoresy fan.
Whale shit hockey. Love it.
Yeah, senior whale shit hockey, man.
Whale shit all the same.
Anyone who's listening, all you assholes, should already know what Letterkenny is. And if you haven't watched Shoresy, it's
there's one of us on this podcast that has not watched Shoresy.
I don't know Hulu.
I've watched it.
It'll make you fall in love with hockey all over again. Like,
dude, so check
so easily.
We've all seen Letterkenny, yeah?
Yeah.
No one else said yeah.
I've seen episodes, but I haven't
parts.
watched
Yeah,
all of it.
I haven't seen.
Okay, whatever. Yeah. So my favorite. So I always loved the hockey in Letterkenny. I love when they had hockey scenes, or with Jonesy and Riley and all them. And I was like,
JJ, Frankie, JJ.
Yeah, I was like, I want them to just make just a hockey show, like these same people, and then they listened and they brought out Shoresy. That show is fucking hilarious, and you should watch it, and so should all of you who hear this. Because please, Hulu, baby. Unless you're in Canada, if this makes it up there, it's on Crave.
We do have some listeners from Canada from according to our analytics. So
oh shit,
it's fascinating because it's so different from Letterkenny, but it's still every bit as good, if not better.
It is. I like it in the sense that it's more storyline driven.
Yeah.
Letterkenny's just kind of more of a, this is the shtick this episode.
Yeah.
Follow us through it. And then the next one, you can watch one episode of Letterkenny and be like, all right, I get it. But like this one kind of has the buildup of the story. So Shoresy, man.
Oh, it's great. I should rewatch it.
So good.
Yeah, you should.
I need to still start. So Jesse can just come over
and you should.
Yeah. We'll grab a pack of Molsons and we'll watch it. So
yeah, dude. Let's go. And all you should watch it too. Like I said. What else? Is there anything else?
I think for the most part, we covered it. I guess just since you brought it up, I'm curious. If you don't know off the top of your head, that's totally fine because I understand this is a very difficult question. But who has more jerseys, you or Molly?
Molly, for sure.
Okay. That would have been my guess, just because she's got quite a collection.
Yeah, 100%. I've kind of gone to this thing where before I started playing hockey, which wasn't that long ago, I was just buying jerseys to wear them. And now every time I buy a jersey, I'm like, all right, can I fit my pads under this shit? Because I might want to play in it. So
I know I got a bunch of old ones and I'm like, oh, these are cool. I'm like, there's no way I could wear this on the ice. Unless I decide not to wear my shoulder pads, which, for a pickup you could get away with.
Yeah, exactly.
Still. Yeah. Like you said, we got to go to work the next day.
Yeah, I got shit to do, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
But speaking of jerseys, should we transition into overtime?
Oh,
I think we should. So as we transition, Kev, can you give us your best goal horn sound to transition us to overtime?
Yeah, ready?
Yep.
Well,
we'll take it.
No, we'll take it. We'll see.
It started off good.
I'm not going to be one of those asshole train horns like the Kings.
Okay, okay.
No, yeah, that
All right.
works.
But,
Okay, we'll take it. Yeah.
so, welcome to overtime. We're gonna go through and do a little recap of the reverse retro jerseys that just came out for this NHL season. We all have our favorite team, so Ethan, why don't you start us out? What do you think of the Columbus Blue Jackets reverse retro
So
jersey?
mean, Jess, to start with Ethan. But
Yeah, I mean, just get it out of the way, for being honest.
yeah.
That's rude. So as like I said, as an equipment guy, I really am holding off until I see it with everything, like the helmets, the gloves, the socks,
The whole
the
kit.
whole shebang.
Okay.
But if I had to give, what are we grading this on? Are we doing like letter grades? Are we doing like scale 1 to 10? What do we want to do here?
You're the teacher, you decide.
All right, let's
Let's say
go.
1 to 10, huh?
Yeah.
Let's go 1 to 10. So if 10's like perfect jersey, like you cannot make it better than that. 1 is like the Tampa Bay Lightning's reverse retro.
Whoa,
Um,
Yeah,
We haven't got there yet.
That's nice of you to give them a 1.
I would
There's a
say
worse one out there, in my opinion, but we'll get there.
I would say that the Blue Jackets is like a 5. I think that having that blue stripe on the bottom kind of tied it together a little bit better than I thought it was going to, but I just feel like it's an average jersey. It doesn't do anything special. It's not hideous. It just exists, and that's all it does for me.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I just feel like there
That is fair.
so many things they could have done with it that would have been
just
better.
a black.
But I don't want to dock it for what it could have been. I'm just looking at it for what it is. And I'm saying that it's completely average and forgettable. After this season, I probably will never remember it exists ever again. And
That's why you got to buy one, dude.
Yeah.
You'll never forget it.
My wife was like, "Oh, are you gonna get one?" And I was like, it's so hard to imagine spending $200 on a jersey that I think is average. I don't know.
Whatever. In a few months, you'll get a Fanatics one for $90.
Yeah. Birthday present.
Yeah.
That's fair.
All
right.
Kev, what do you think about the Ducks reverse retro?
Well, as not just Ducks fan, I think I speak for everyone that they should just go back to that old logo.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just full time, right? Am I
We've
wrong?
talked about this before, and we are all in full agreement.
It's bullshit. That WebD, I have so many fucking dumb articles of clothing and charcuterie boards with that stupid fucking D on it.
Nobody likes it.
Nobody
I never hear
likes it.
people say they like it.
No, nobody likes it. So
Yeah.
I hate it, but a fan's a fan, I guess. Whatever. But as far as the reverse retro, I think I'm gonna give it a solid like 6 or 7.
Okay.
Probably more 7. I'll step up to 7.
We
just
can do
because,
halves if you want to do 6.5.
You know
Can
what?
do that.
Yeah, I'll stick to 7. I'll give it a
Okay.
7. Just because I love I'm a simple guy when it comes to jerseys. I love simplified jerseys. I love classic looking stripes that make sense. I like when it's not too busy. I love collegiate sort of, like the diagonal old school Rangers sort of collegiate. I always love those old school simple jerseys. So I quite like the Ducks one to where they stuck to the modern colors, but went back, to the classic jersey and logo that everyone likes. So I like it.
Right,
And I like that it's white. I like that it's white. I love the white.
Yeah, that's fair. I think the whites. I think it all looks really clean. I actually, even though I'm a Kings fan, still, I love the old school. I really do like it. And though my only hesitation when they first said we're gonna do white, I'm like they did white last year, but but that's okay.
But then that'll just make the home and away when they just fuck off the D jersey.
There you go.
That's fair.
But I love that one. I like it a lot.
So Jess and I are gonna speak about the same team. Jess, if you want to go first, and then I'm sure you're gonna say pretty much everything I would, so I'll let you go first. I'll add my little thoughts, and then we'll transition to our
Yeah,
other
you-
favorite jerseys.
You fill in the cracks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure. I
That's what I
mean,
do. You know that.
Yeah.
yeah, LA Kings are it's great. Like they nailed it again, second year in a row. The old crown logo is awesome. I would give it like an 8.5 out of 10. I think like last year's was probably like a 9.5 or 10 out of 10. I love last year's
Damn, did I
with
undersell mine?
no, because the Kings is way better. But like last year's we had the 90s logo with the old school colors. It was great. This year we have the old school logo with the old school colors. It's super solid. I don't know. I don't know what else they could have really done different with if going with the white jerseys. So I'll give it a 9 out of 10.
Damn, son.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen a lot of so if anyone uses the Score like sports app, they actually they did their whole ranking, and everyone's got a different ranking systems. Every ranking website I saw actually had the Kings listed in their top 5.
Yeah.
I think it's a great one, but the Score is actually the only reason I'm bringing that one up is because the Kings number 1, but number 2 is actually the Ducks. And while I wouldn't put the Ducks number 2, I do really like the Ducks. I do think you undersold them a little bit. I would agree with Jesse, like 8.5 or 9 for the Kings.
I was trying to be modest, man.
No, don't be modest, man. Because I would agree with Jesse, 8.5 or 9 for the Kings, but I would give the Ducks a solid 8.
Yeah. All right.
You know, especially after Ethan gave the Blue Jackets a 5. I mean, that clearly was being biased, generous, and
It is definitely 4 points better than the Tampa Bay Lightning's
well,
reverse retro.
we'll see. We'll get there.
4.5.
Yeah, I think I agree with Jesse. When I first saw it, the only thing that, and I think this was a little bit of like a NHL 22 or 21 bias when it's like when you're going through like the jersey selections.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone else ever notices this, but it's like the old school jerseys have like this poofier look when
Yeah.
you select them in the video game. And so when I first saw the Kings, it's the first thing that popped in my head. I was like, I don't like it's got the poofy look, but I'm like, it's not. It's just like my biased brain from the video game. Because when you see it in like the 3D,
Yeah.
and you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
no, I really like the Kings. I'm definitely. I don't know if I can afford to get both this year's and last year's right now. So I'm kind of in this like. I kind of agree with Jesse. I think last year's was a little bit better, but I still really like this one. So I don't think there's anything much more to say. I think they killed it. I think they're one of the best ones out there. I'm not going to list it in my other favorites just because we already talked about it, and I'm going to go with ones that are, so I'm going to give there's one in particular that I'd say is probably my favorite outside of the Kings, and I've seen a lot of mixed things on this one. I think more people like it than not, and I do have some like family tie into this one a little bit, which I'll explain, but I think my favorite outside the Kings is the Florida Panthers. I think it's a ton of fun. I love the logo. I love the colors. I think part of it is like when I really was like watching a lot of hockey back in the 90s, that's more the style. That was their secondary logo. And then one of the reasons, just our dad is the one that got us into hockey, but our uncle was also like kept us really like ingrained in hockey, would bring us a lot of like hockey memorabilia, took us to games. And he loved the Panthers because he loved John Van Beesbrook. And I actually got the chance to meet the Bees in 2016. And I got like an autographed puck from him and everything. So I've always had like a little special place in my heart.
Okay, yeah.
But especially like that old school time. So the fact that they drew on that with like that logo and the colors and everything like that, I was just like, it's one that makes my heart happy. So
yeah, all right.
Yeah, so I'd say that would probably be my other favorite one that I would list. I think, I would the Ducks I think killed it. I love what the Coyotes have been doing the last couple of years with theirs. So
I dig the Coyotes one. I love that like burnt sienna color or whatever they're using.
Yeah,
I think that shit's dope.
I think a lot of teams did well. I think the one other team I was going to mention, just because I've seen so many people like kind of shitting on it, was the Rangers. I really like the Rangers reverse retro, going with like the Royal,
I like it.
the regular one with like the Liberty logo.
I like the sleeve, the sleeve transition that they do. I like it.
I do too.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people rank them low and saying like they're terrible. And
okay,
I'll go back and look and see. Like Molly's done a lot of her.
I got a question.
She did say she liked the Kings, so
yeah. I didn't say I didn't like it either. I'm with you. I like it. Let me ask you guys how you feel about Calgary's.
I don't like it.
What the fuck is that stripe doing going
Yeah.
up in the middle?
They had a third jersey, I think, back in the.
I understand
I think that stripe was part of their original, like, flame horsehead jersey or whatever. I think if you go back and look at it, so I think it was a callback to that. But just because you did it before doesn't mean you have to.
But use the fucking horse head if you're gonna call back that.
Well, that's what they did last time.
I know. Anyway,
Yeah, I don't like it though.
I don't like it. It's as if someone put a puzzle together wrong.
Yeah, Calgary's isn't great.
So
It would if it wasn't for that one stripe. It would
that's
be a
what I'm
decent
saying.
jersey.
It's clean,
Yeah, it would be good.
but just make it. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I'm no argument. I think from any of us.
And then what about one more? What about the Predators? That
I'm a personal
phony looking
because
cartoon.
I still have that original logo jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had this conversation last week because he
Did
was
we?
literally
Okay.
he was wearing that jersey last week.
Yeah, it's still in my pocket.
And
I can grab it.
yeah.
I don't know, man.
I don't like it. I don't love it.
I don't like it either.
All right, I have a
But
question.
either way.
I'll respect that. I personally like it, but I understand why people don't.
So I think a wild card to be the best reverse retro out there, depending on how the rest of it looks.
If you say the Lightning, I swear.
No, I'll touch on that in a
Just
second.
stir the
because
pot a little.
The St. Louis Blues.
No.
Yes.
Ooh,
I
Not for
love.
me.
I
that's a
love
hot
it.
take.
It's a hot take, but okay. Depending what they do with the rest of it, I haven't seen any pictures of
Like
with
the whole kit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it was like blue pants and like
It is a
blue
really good
helmet
UCLA club jersey.
Yeah.
Damn, Ethan.
all right.
What?
So I think that's a wild card to be the best one.
It said to be a good club jersey. I didn't say
The-
it'd be a bad one.
The junior
hey.
Bruins.
So, but
But
speaking of
do you guys-
Bruins,
real quick though, do you guys know the story about the Blues one? So the
I
reason they
can-
win with that one, that was the original concept for when they were
Yeah,
first yeah.
in
So
1966.
yeah, and then they never win with it. So I think I give them a little bit of like credit for
It's kind of cool that they're like, yo, we had this in the vault for many years,
Yeah.
decades. Let's throw it out.
so
Yeah.
if they execute on it, I think it's going to be one of the best
Yeah.
ones.
Honestly, it could be way worse, like some of the other ones are.
yeah.
Oh, like
I-
Detroit, but
Detroit and Chicago.
Dude, I think we could all agree. Detroit. I
Like-
think it's consensus is the worst, but I think consensus for sure is bottom three.
Yeah.
They're just
it's the
terrible.
worst.
Yeah.
It looks like a soccer jersey that someone didn't try on.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. But their last one was also they just turned in a practice jersey.
Yeah.
So
It's-
I feel nothing about the Caps.
Oh, I love the Caps.
Those mean
I like
nothing.
it.
Those mean
Most
nothing to me.
people-
I feel nothing about them.
It's more than like nostalgia, maybe.
That's what I'm saying. It has no
Yeah.
nostalgic value for me, and so I just think they're ugly.
No, because I was like
That's fair. Ethan,
the
I'm
transition
sure you're a
from
nice guy.
Peter Bondra to like young Ovechkin
Most
wearing these
days.
jerseys.
Yeah,
No, Caps is
But-
great.
with the mirror tinted shield.
Yeah. I don't know, Kevin, if you ever get on Reddit, but somebody did the whole like Kool-Aid tint to a bubble today. That was like a reddish, orangish.
Oh, that
wasn't
was
that
like-
Nasher?
That was horrendous.
It was
no Nasher did his visor, but someone
That's what I
did their
meant.
bubble.
yeah.
Someone
Oh,
did their
really?
bubble.
Yeah, someone did a whole bubble, and it was
Oh no.
the most ridiculous thing. But I'm like, yeah,
Oh.
it's beer league. Have fun with it. So
Yeah, I guess so. Wear
Yeah.
69, have flame tape, do whatever you want.
yeah.
Do you want to just do a quick roundtable top 3 favorite outside of our own team?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Rapid fire. Go ahead.
mine are Panthers, Canadians, and then it's like a tie between the Canucks and the Wild. I like can't shake those two.
Okay.
Sure.
The Wild, okay. Shit, am I up next?
Yeah. If
The
you're not
Wild,
ready, I can go.
the Wild just remind me of Oregon, and I think their uniforms are really, really, really good, and I really want to buy one.
Okay. All right. Shit, I'm gonna have to go. So first of all, I dig the Colorado one.
Okay.
Okay.
I like
Fair.
that one. I'm gonna say Colorado. I might have to go Vancouver also, man.
Okay.
There it is.
Okay.
What do you think? I mean, I'm not asking. Don't change my mind.
I think it's
But
solid.
I think it's cool. I also shit. What a I really like. So I like simple, and I like how the Habs went with that blue.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I dig that a lot. And like you said,
Okay.
the Blue Jackets one is just kind of whatever. I just had to throw that in there.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, well, that was a vicious.
Yeah.
No, it's just because it literally just popped up on my screen. I had to do a little anyway. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Honorable mention: Penguins.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah, yeah, that's a good one.
Dig that one. Forgot about that one.
Let him go.
Okay,
Anyway,
so I
got
already talked about Panthers.
Okay.
Panthers number one. I was thinking about putting the Penguins in there, but since they already got mentioned, I will go with the Sabres.
Yes.
That's another one. Yeah, and then
Okay.
I think actually, honestly, between all three of the New York metropolitan area teams, but I'm going to go the Islanders as my. I like the Rangers a lot. I think the Devils one is very underrated, but I'm going to go with the Islanders because I wanted them to wear the Fishman logo for so long, and I think they did a really good job with a good clean.
I also really like the diagonal stripe.
Yes,
on the bottom.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that a lot.
Cool. So obviously,
Jesse.
Blues. We already went over this. Next one is the Boston Bruins. Like the bear logo, I love
Oh
it.
no.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's great.
That's okay.
Oh no, it's better than it's right. And then I don't know. This might be another hot take, but one I really, really liked. I think super clean is the Jets.
Ooh, that's a hot take because they've been bottom tier in every ranking I've seen.
I
want to see what they do with the rest of it,
mind
but
the
I think
Jets.
it's a good looking jersey for a reverse retro.
Yeah,
I'm not huge on it, but for like a hockey jersey, I think it's good.
In a vacuum, it's a very good hockey jersey.
Yeah, I will agree with that. I think it's a hot take because I've seen most people would heartedly disagree with that. I would not say it's bottom. I also would not say it's top. I think for me it's very mid to maybe above average. So I do think
they put in way more effort than the Carolina Hurricanes. The Hurricanes have major kid who forgot to do their homework vibes.
Also,
his plagiarized last year's work.
My life experience is that most people don't know what the hell they're talking about.
That's fair.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. So
reverse order this, Jess. So go again.
So now we need to go bottom three.
Yeah, we'll reverse it. So
okay, so bottom three. Detroit.
I'm gonna start some fights with mine.
Is the worst
God.
The hockey jersey I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chicago is very, very bad.
Yeah, but they're the same jersey.
Basically, yeah.
So I would just group those two together.
Yeah, I wouldn't even.
And then, just because they don't really deserve to have a reverse retro, I'm going Seattle.
Ooh.
And I'll tell you this, Ethan. The reason I'm leaving Tampa Bay out of my bottom three
is because you're silly.
As a jersey, yes, it's not a good jersey. But as a hockey fan in the earlier 2000s, that like lightning bolt on the sleeve is everything I could have ever hoped and dreamed the Lightning would do.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean,
I'm going to agree with Jesse there. I'm not going to put it in my bottom three because it just makes me think of the Vinny LeCavier, Martin St. Louis days, and
NHL 2006.
I'll tell you what I tell my students every day: mistakes are proof for trying.
So,
that's
even though
sweet.
I don't want to, I like to do different ones, but like Detroit's is just fucking awful.
You guys should all have that in your bottom three.
Yeah, Detroit's is terrible. Here's one that I've seen. I don't know how you guys are feel about this one. I just feel like it's just most people say it's very mid. Maybe it's one I'm judging a little too harshly because I think it could have done better or more. I do not like the Stars.
Same.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's like,
but like it looks like.
Go ahead.
It looks like something that they would just put out in the team store in the kids section.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Just like a simple fucking here.
It's not terrible, but it just seems lazy, and that's almost how I'm grading most of these.
Yeah.
Because I'm a little torn on. So I'm gonna have two right here, just because like I almost put the Flyers because I think it's super lazy, but the fact that they're doing like the like the Cooperalls or whatever, like for their warm ups with them, I'm like, okay,
cool.
like that's
Broad Street Bullies.
Otherwise, yeah. The other one I'm putting in there, and I hate doing this because I love that they brought this theme back. But again, it was so fucking lazy. Is the Sharks. Because I love the seals, I love the colors, but it's just like you literally just took the exact jersey and put your name on it, and I'm like, you do something a little different.
I kind of like that one.
Like, inherently, like I
feel
like the jersey, but it's just I'm like it's just like the laziest thing they could have done. So I'm putting my bottom three, and also fuck the Sharks.
All right.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah.
we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
All right. So Ethan, I got you. I'm gonna put Tampa Bay in there.
There it is.
All right. Lightning's definitely going in there. I'm gonna go with the Oilers as well.
Ooh,
I
like the Oilers.
I do not.
I hate the Oilers team, but
I do not like that crest. I think it is god awful, and it looks like a fucking roller hockey logo.
We love roller hockey on this podcast.
That's fine.
It looks very Pokemon, I think.
Yeah, so I don't like that one, Tampa Bay. So those two, and then I'm really torn for my last one. I'm really torn between Boston and Nashville, but I'm gonna go with Nashville on the uglier one.
Why do you hate Boston?
All I'm hearing from you, Kev, right now is that you just didn't watch a lot of hockey in like the 2003 to like 2007 range. So.
Hey, I did. I just didn't like it. Like I said, I always like the classics, the straightforward, unless of course it's the Motley Goons, you know?
Yeah.
But the only thing I don't like about you want to know about the Bruins, Jesse?
Yes.
All right. I just don't like that bear. I really like the stripes and like the scratchy like claw lines.
Okay.
I like that. But I don't like the meth bear.
Okay, you know what? All right, fair.
All right.
I like the layout of it, and I like the colors and the setup. I like I said, everything but the crest.
All right.
Okay, my bottom three. I feel like I've already stated them pretty clearly over the course of this podcast. The worst one, like by a significant margin, like not even in the same area code as the rest of them, is the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Okay. Detroit's way worse.
Just a garbage uniform with way too much happening on it. Just a lot. Wouldn't be caught dead wearing that thing.
Sorry to cut you off, but notice I didn't say Detroit or Chicago in that. I just let them do their own work and just be at the bottom. So
yeah. So I have Tampa Bay Lightning.
Okay.
And I have the Detroit Chicago whatever team up that they had there, where they kind of just copied each other's homework.
Okay.
That they copied off a soccer team.
Yeah. And then I would say my final one is. This was a tough one because I think that the Stars is one that it looks like a little $10 one you buy from Target, that you want to show that you like the team, but you don't really want to pay for a real authentic jersey. It's kind of what it looks
Old
like.
Navy overstock.
Yeah. But I think I have to give the final spot to the Flyers solely based on the Cooperalls because it's not a look.
I mean, it's a look, but it's not a good look.
It's bad. It's bad. When they showed the picture and they're like, they're back, I was like, who wants this? Who wants this except for really old hockey fans who are really nostalgic for that era?
I'm still mad at Philly. Go Padres.
And then the Capitals are an honorable mention.
That's a
but I feel like I'll like those uniforms better when the whole kit is on, when the whole uniform's on. I feel like
can you do me a favor?
No, because I know you're not going to say anything kind right now.
No, I'm just saying, once we're done with this podcast, can you just go watch early Alex Ovechkin highlights.
Oh, I have.
wearing these jerseys.
Oh, I thought he was gonna say, can you just go take a bath with a toaster oven?
Oh,
Damn. All right. Well, there you guys go. You got our
Not bad, guys. Maybe we'll go over this in a month or two after they wear them.
yeah.
like I said, I want to see some of these with the whole.
Yeah,
Like,
I think that's gonna
I think the
change a
I want to
lot.
see some.
I think the
I
Canucks
want to see
one
some
could
Selly
be upgraded.
stills.
Yeah, I think the Canucks one could be upgraded to like my favorite if the whole kit comes together well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because that definitely makes
Gloves, pants, socks, everything.
yeah.
Yeah,
definitely makes a difference.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like St. Louis could end up being my favorite, or it could end up tanking to the bottom.
Yeah, a lot of it's
Right,
going to
we'll
come
see.
down to like the gloves and the lid.
I feel it's
If
just
they
it's
go
really
blue with that stuff, like great. If they go yellow,
it's
or-
really hard to pull off yellow. I feel like yellow is just a difficult color to pull off.
I
mean,
agree.
I know that's Jesse's my beer league team, so
Yeah, but our jerseys
That
are pretty
fucking
plain.
And I
the
have
Nashville.
Yeah.
I've stayed quiet on that this whole
Our
time.
jerseys are terrible, but it's okay.
That
Yeah,
that
it's all good.
Nashville Ice Age ass Diego jersey.
Yeah,
Dude.
there's a reason yellow helmets on Pro Stock Hockey always go for like $20.
Hey man, if you wear a yellow bucket out there playing beer league, your teammates will always know where you're at.
yeah.
Just
Yep.
saying.
They're
Yeah,
not $20, but they're pretty.
That
cheap.
is if you're keeping your head
Yeah.
up.
that's true.
Otherwise, you're looking at the
So,
socks.
all right.
All right.
But I think, so you guys got our hot takes on the
Yes,
reverse
yes.
retros. Yeah, we'll have to see. Yeah, like when all the kits come together, when they're first debuted, which will be in a couple of weeks. I think we'll start seeing them rolled out. But I think, I think that's all we got. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a good
So real
good
quick,
episode.
yeah, before we sign off, just Kev, thanks again for
Dude,
coming
thank you
on. We
guys.
appreciate that you've been so persistent about wanting to come on
Dude,
because
I've been wanting to
there's been a couple
chat.
other people I'm trying to get on here, which they're excited to, they want to, but they, a little hard to track down. You were like, want to come on, just let me know when. And I think you responded in like 30 seconds when I asked you. So that was awesome.
Yeah.
We'll definitely have to get you back on here again.
Yeah.
It's also
And
good
for-
because Tofty is never available, and so we're gonna have a talk with him.
The
Yes.
problem is they play on the same team. So sometimes when Toffee's not available, Kev won't be available either. But
Oh, dude, I'm gonna slap him
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, but
but if there's never a Goons game and Toffee's not available, you're going to be first one off the
Exactly.
bench. Yeah.
Hey, and for next time, I don't know if you're just naturally blurry, but like wipe your screen off, dude. Your camera.
It's my I need to buy a new webcam.
Honestly,
The one
this
that's
is
been-
probably the best webcam performance we've seen out of him.
Okay,
in
cool.
A,
Yeah,
few
Sorry.
weeks here.
yeah,
First
I've
time
talked
over
about-
here.
No, it's it's partially broken. I need to get a new one. to
You look
replace it
like
'cause-
you're in Mexico in Breaking Bad.
Thank
Please
you.
buy his hockey
Well, it's
performance
'cause I'm- Yeah.
program.
There you go. Help me out. But it's also because I'm the prettiest one in the group, and I'm trying to like even the playing field as much as I can.
That's true. All right, I
Yeah.
get it.
That's
okay,
fair.
guy.
So,
Well,
Settle down.
well, Kev, thanks again.
dude, thanks a
Boys.
lot, guys.
It's been fun, and until next time,
Yeah. Go Goons, huh?
go Goons.
All right, guys.
And-
And then what's your team name now?
Oh, we're the leftovers.
Oh hell yeah, I love leftovers.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
It's the greatest.
Make your ass into a sandwich, dude.
The
Let's go.
leftovers. You're like the adult version of the Don't Bothers because their uniforms were
Yeah.
yellow too, right?
Yeah,
That's true. That's
Yeah.
what we should just switch to. It's just the don't bothers.
it's basically how
Gee.
our team was formed when I started it.
Yeah.
It was like after COVID, everybody, a bunch of new
Started with
people
you
wanted-
yelling to your mom like, "Hey, they won't let me on the team."
Basically, it was
Yeah.
me posting on Facebook like, "Is there a team from
Yeah.
you?"
Please.
And there was a goalie. I was like, I guess I'll take all these guys on.
Yeah.
Here
Worked
we
out.
are. It's worked out.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
But-
I'm gonna go eat some leftovers and hang out with my dogs and my wife.
Sounds
All
good.
right.
I'll do the
Right
same,
on.
except for the
I'm-
wife part. But
I'm gonna go to bed and then go
Yeah.
do my job tomorrow.
yeah.
Oh,
right.
hell yeah.
All right,
All right,
boys.
Thank you so
Peace and
much,
love.
guys, for having me.
All right.
We'll
Anytime.
see you soon. Hell yeah.
All right.